Hi everyone, it's Natalie from Let's Practice English. For this new series of videos, we are going to be doing 100 of the most difficult words to pronounce in English. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like the video. So the first two words we have are close and close. Now these are extremely similar in pronunciation, so it can be very difficult to tell the difference between them both. But clothes are obviously what you wear, and close is used when you need to physically close something. For an example sentence, we could say, I always go shopping for new clothes every month. And can you do me a favour and close the door? On to the second one, we have comfortable and comfy. Now, comfy is just a shortened way to say comfortable, so you can use both of these. And comfortable just means when something feels nice, basically. So you could say, oh, this t-shirt is really comfortable. Or, I always wear slippers in winter because they're so comfy. On to the third one, we have word, world, work, and walk. Now these words are pretty similar when it comes to pronunciation. It can be easy to confuse these words. So the first one we have is word, which I'm sure you guys know what a word is, like the, apple, cat, or something like that. And then world, as you can tell we have a much longer vowel sound in that word, is obviously the whole world, the earth and all the planets inside. Work is just the job that we do. And the last one, walk, I'm sure you all know what walking is. Again, you can tell we have different vowel sounds in each of these words, so try not to get them confused. So an example for the first one could be, my favourite word is acceptable. And for the next one, we could say, the world is so huge, scientists haven't been able to discover all the planets. And for the next one, we could say, I used to work as a baker during university. And the last one, I always walk to school every day because it's the healthier option. Okay, on to number 4, we have woman and women. Now, one of them is the singular, the first one is the singular word, the second one is the plural word. So as you can tell, we've just switched one of the letters from A to E to make it plural. So if you just listen again, it's woman and women. So just a little bit of a difference with the vowel at the end. And an example sentence could be, many women fought for equal rights in the past in England. Okay, on to number 5, we have question and answer. So I'm sure you guys know what a question is. It could be something like, how old are you? And the answer could be, I am 20 years old. On to number 6, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now I'm sure you guys know that these are the 3 types of meals that we eat during the day. So for breakfast, you could maybe eat something like cereal or toast or eggs. For lunch, maybe something a bit bigger like a sandwich, pasta, something like that. And then for dinner, you know, it could be rice with meat, with vegetables or something like that. On to number 7, we have free and 3. So these words are probably easily confused by foreign learners because they are almost pronounced exactly the same. However, you can tell at the beginning there is a slight difference between the pronunciation of the vowel. So with the first one we said free, the second one we say 3. So you can tell that my tongue rolls a little bit for the number 3. And an example sentence could be, are you free next weekend? And for the number, we could say, my nephew has just turned 3 years old. Okay, on to number 8, we have tooth and teeth. So Tooth is the singular, just for one tooth, and then teeth is the plural for all of your teeth. So with this word, you can tell that there's a difference between the vowels that we use. So the first one we say tooth, the second one teeth. So it just goes from an O to an E vowel, and it's quite simple like that. So an example could be, my niece recently lost her first tooth. And for teeth, we could say, you regularly need to clean your teeth. On to number 9, we have mirror and error. These are quite similar when it comes to the vowel sounds in these words. So if you listen again, the first one is mirror, second one, error. So just a small difference here. And an example sentence could be, I always look in the mirror before I go to work. And for the second one, we could say, it's okay to make errors in your work, otherwise you'll never learn. On to number 10, we have though, thought, and through. Now, these are the types of words that really confuse students because they are so similar in spelling, but when you just add one different letter, it changes the pronunciation completely. So let's listen again. The first one is though, the second one, thought, and the third one, through. So you can tell with the first one, it's not the same vowel sound at the beginning, it's though. Whereas the second two, we have thought, you can see my tongue moving a little bit, and through. So that's what the difference is at the beginning of the words. And an example sentence could be, even though I really liked the dress, I returned it because it was too expensive. And for the second one, she thought it was a good idea to go to school in London, however, it was too expensive. And for the last one, you have to go through the archway to get to the school. On to number 11, we have fruit and suit. So obviously these words are pronounced very similarly, but we do have a different consonant at the beginning. So with fruit, obviously we have an F. With suit, we've changed it to an S. And an example could be, my favourite fruit is strawberries. And on to the second one, we could say, men always wear a suit when they have a formal occasion to go to. On to number 12, we have photograph, photographer, photography, and photographic. So these are obviously talking about very, very similar things, but they all have different meanings, and sometimes we change the vowel sound or the consonant sound at the beginning of these words. So let's talk about the first one. So the first one is photograph. So photograph just means the picture that you take with the camera. Whereas photographer, as you can tell, there's a different pronunciation because we have the at the end, is the person that takes the pictures. And the third one, photography, again, difference with the ending, is the art of taking pictures. And the last one, photographic. So you can tell with this one we say it more like photo, and then at the end obviously it changes. This can be used to talk about anything that is relating to photographs. So let me give you some examples. I used to study photography at school, or my best friend is a photographer. On to number 13, we have analyze, analysis, and analytical. So again, it's quite similar to what we've just done. We kind of change the end of these words and then it changes the meaning of them. Okay, so let's do this one again. So we have analyze, analysis, and analytical. So you can tell that it just changes at the ends of these words. So let me give you some examples. You really need to analyse your work thoroughly before you submit it to your lecturer. Or for analysis, you could say, the students needed to put their test up for analysis before it went through to the doctor. And for analytical, we could say, the complete analytical treatment was given by the nurse. On to number 14, we have climb and tomb. Now these are pretty difficult because students always try to pronounce the B at the end of the words, but you do not need to pronounce that B at all. So it just becomes climb and tomb. So you just don't hear that B sound at all at the end. So an example sentence could be, the man tried to climb Mount Everest. Or for tomb, we could say, there are many ancient Egyptian tombs that were found in the past. On to number 15, we have desks and asks. So as you could probably hear, the sound that was made with the S and the K is quite an interesting sound to listen to. So let me do it one more time. Desks, asks. There's a bit of a difficult sound in the middle of those words. So an example could be, all the desks in the school are made from wood. And for asks, she always asks a question when she doesn't understand. On to number 16, we have 13 and 30. So I guess you guys know 13 is obviously 1, 3, 30 is 3, 0. So this is a higher number than the one before. So there is a little bit of a difference with the way that we pronounce these. So let's listen again. So it's 13 and 30. So the difference is at the end of the word. And an example could be, my older brother just turned 30. On to number 17, we have sixth. Sixth. So this word is quite difficult to pronounce because we have the X and the TH following after. So I guess you know what the sixth is. It's just the 6 and we normally put a little TH at the top of the word. So an example could be, she came 6th in the competition. On to number 18, we have Wednesday. Now, Wednesday is quite easily mispronounced because there are some letters in there that we just don't pronounce at all. So for example, at the beginning, when you see that D sound, it is not pronounced. We just say Wednesday. So we just miss the D sound completely. And an example could be, every Wednesday I go to piano classes. On to number 19, we have months. Months. So as you can tell at the beginning of this word, that O sound is more pronounced like a U sound instead. So just remember when you say it's not months, it's months. An example sentence could be, there are 12 months in the year. Okay, now on to the last ones. We have access, accent, success, and succinct. Now these are all pretty similar again with the pronunciation, but there are some slight differences. So with the first one, if you listen again, it's access. So with that C sound, it becomes more like a K and an S at the beginning instead. And with accent, obviously the ending is changed because we have the N and the T. And also with success, again, very, very similar to access, but it's just replaced with an S at the beginning. And the last one, succinct. This is quite difficult because we have the ng sound at the end, so it's succinct instead. And some examples could be, I really love the accent from Brooklyn, New York. And the man's success is down to his wife. Okay guys, so thank you for watching this video. This was just part 1, so you can expect a few more videos coming from this series. So as I said in the beginning, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, don't forget to leave those down below. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.